Nestled in the Hampshire countryside is the village of East Meon, so called for the stretch of river that runs through it. And on Tuesday, a group of volunteers, led by the Wild Trout Trust, put on their wellies and waded into the river to clear plants and rubbish from the beds. I went to see how they were getting on. On a soggy morning, deep in the Hampshire countryside, a group of volunteers had waded into a stretch of the Meon River to clear out parts of the waterway, making the habitat a better place for wildlife, while still offering effective drainage for flood defence.
The charity I work for, we've got a passion about protecting and improving habitat for ostensibly wild trout, but if you get habitat right for wild trout, lots of other wildlife benefit as well. We're in the middle of East Meon here, and the channel was a complete basket case a few years ago, and it still has lots of issues. It's a quintessential Hampshire village with a channel that looks like a Californian storm drain. So we've been putting habitat back into the channel, and now we're doing a bit of maintenance on it. What we did initially was make the concrete channel rougher to create some habitat. But we've got a responsibility to make sure that the channel still works for flood defence purposes, so we can't allow it just to clog up with vegetation. So we intervene once a year with the volunteers from the Parks Authority. We get a lot of support from the Parish Council, and we're trying to make it a better place for wildlife and people. And the wildlife's responding. We've seen kingfishers here. We've seen fish in the channel this morning, the first time I've ever seen fish in the channel here. So we're pretty excited by it, and we hope to do a little bit more further down in the village as well, provided we get everyone to agree the objectives. We've had otter visiting the middle of the village because otter spraint has been found on some of the bridges here, so they've been out and through the channel and out of the channel. I was only here yesterday and a kingfisher came darting down, and it just makes your heart sing when you think the river is behaving like a chalk stream rather than a drain. The public are very passionate about rivers, and we want to work with them and the local authorities and the regulator to make them better. We certainly do our best. It's a third sector in action, if you like, getting on with it. But what we're really trying to do is join up the rural habitats both upstream and downstream of the village and allow wildlife to be able to move through. So, exciting project.
And in the course of cleaning up the river, have the team found anything unusual?
Oh, you get all sorts of rubbish that get thrown into the channel, and of course, vandalism is always a problem in any village, no matter what you do. We're trying to make it bulletproof in terms of still being an environment for people to enjoy. Classic case here is the fact that the channel is used annually for a duck race. Well, people were a little bit worried we'd make it a little bit too challenging for the ducks. Well, my argument is it's a Formula One race course now rather than just a boring track. So, it's thinking about all these things, bringing them together, getting the local community on side and making it a better place.
And of course, there's always space for new volunteers.
Absolutely. The volunteers from the National Parks Authority have agreed to pitch up here and help to do the maintenance work. I think it's a change for them to get into the river in wellies rather than being scrub bashing up on the downs. So, but the chalk rivers that thread through the national park are a critically important habitat. So I'd urge people who've got an interest in rivers to look at our website, the Wild Trout Trust website, sign up, become a member, and get out and get into the green gym. That's what I'd say.
This is Richard Stringer for That's TV.